Hello there, and welcome to part 10 of What if Yuji had the anti-gravity system, where Yuji can create a pseudo black hole if he wanted to. How will this affect the story? For that, continue watching this series. So without any further ado, let's get started. Mahito explains how he is reborn and wants Yuji to congratulate him. Yuji doesn't say anything, causing Mahito to be hurt, at least with the way he's acting. Yuji knows that Mahito has figured out the reverse curse technique similar to him. So from this point on, it is a battle of pure power, finding out who will win. Mahito has the same thought, knowing that he and Yuji will have to fight to the death from here on out. Both of them rush towards each other, Mahito surrounding himself with cursed energy while Yuji surrounds his hands with a ball of gravity. When both of their fists clash, both of them struggle to push each other away. Yuji swings his free hand at Mahito, making him duck to the ground, where he uses his tail to swipe at Yuji's leg, which Yuji dodges by jumping into the air. Mahito uses his hand to create spikes, sending them towards the airborne Yuji, who spins in the air, kicking all the spikes and destroying them. Mahito jumps towards Yuji, who immediately adds gravity on him, sending him downwards where he lands on Mahito, before spinning and throwing Mahito away. Mahito crashes to the ground, knowing he was right in not doing a self-imposed binding vow. While a self-imposed binding vow would allow him to increase the destructiveness in his new form, it would come at a cost for not transfiguring his body to adapt to Yuji's strength. Yuji is growing as the fight continues, and if Mahito stays behind, he will lose. Both of them continue fighting, with each of them growing individually. Yuji's proficiency in gravity on his body is increasing, while Mahito is continuously transfiguring his body to harden himself against Yuji's dangerous punches. Due to both of them having RCT, any injury they suffer from is healed. Yuji realizes that this cannot go on, as Mahito is getting more durable as the fight goes on. He needs to do something different. So right as he is about to punch Mahito once again, he pushes out gravity from the area around him, making Mahito be pushed down. Mahito resists the gravitational pressure, but Yuji takes his chance to hit Mahito hard, sending Mahito flying and crashing down. Mahito realizes that Yuji will be using different ways to kill him. He comes up with a plan on how to counter Yuji's curse technique. Right as Yuji comes down with a kick, Mahito raises his arms and defends against the kick. Mahito is pushed to the ground, but he still holds on. Mahito transfigures his body once more, increasing his durability while also creating two arms that are attached to his wrists. Mahito uses these extra appendages to grab onto Yuji's leg, slamming him to the ground. Yuji uses the hold to his advantage and increases Mahito's gravity, but Mahito uses domain amplification, surrounding it in his body to nullify Yuji's abilities. With it, he uses his other two arms to create swords with the intent of stabbing Yuji to death. Yuji stretches and grabs hold of the incoming swords, trying to use anti-gravity to slow down the speed, but due to the domain amplification still going on, Yuji is not able to completely stop them and must rely on his own strength. Mahito pulls Yuji into the air, before slamming him to the ground over and over again. Yuji knows he cannot hold on, so he decides to do a risky move. He uses gravity on himself, but rather than increasing his gravity, he makes himself a singular point, attracting anything near him. Mahito feels the pull, but he is easily able to ignore it due to domain amplification. As he raises Yuji in the air once again, he is hit in the head with a rock, confusing his hit by more rocks. Mahito sees that these rocks are sticking into Yuji like glue and realizing what Yuji has done. Unfortunately, he is not able to release his hands from Yuji as Yuji has a death grip on them. As more and more rocks start attaching to Yuji, Yuji gets completely covered in rocks, still continuing to pull on everything near him. Mahito realizes that he needs to remove his hands from Yuji, so using his two free hands, he rips apart the hands that were grabbed by Yuji. Right as Yuji feels no resistance from the hands, he realizes that Mahito has ripped out his own hand. So Yuji focuses on the reversal technique. Rather than attracting, he focuses on pushing all of the rocks that are attached to him, sending them flying. Due to Mahito not having enough time to move far away, all the rocks fly towards Mahito, hitting him and blocking his vision. Even though Mahito can sense Yuji, Yuji is faster, as he uses the rocks as a cover to get close the distance between him and Mahito, coming in front of Mahito and slamming his gravity enhanced punch into Mahito's stomach, making him repel backward. Due to the weakness of not being able to use domain amplification along with someone's inherent technique, Mahito could not maintain the domain amplification while using title transfiguration to heal his hands. Yuji takes this opportunity to land more punches, blindsiding Mahito before uppercutting him, sending him flying. Mahito decides to abandon the plan of using domain amplification, focusing solely on curse technique and evolving in this battle. From his mask, two eyes pop up, allowing Mahito to see everything without the cover of his mask. As he lands on the ground, he uses all four of his arms to block another one of Yuji's punches. He uses his tail to swipe at Yuji, which Yuji dodges. Mahito takes this opportunity to rush Yuji and attack with all four of his hands. Yuji tries to block, but the extra two hands are troublesome for him to properly defend, allowing Mahito to land a lot of punches on Yuji. Yuji uses anti-gravity on himself and reducing his weight and rushing backwards to gain some distance. He cups his hand, deactivating anti-gravity and using its reversal, gravity. A small gravity ball forms in his hands, where he pulls a rubble near him before holding all of it and then pushing it towards Mahito. Mahito isn't going to fall for this again though. He transfigures two more eyes below his eyes, allowing him to see more clearly than before. He sees Yuji blitzing towards him, so he readies himself. As Yuji comes to him, Mahito knows that Yuji is getting a little stronger, while Mahito is falling behind. The more punches Yuji throws, the more powerful they are, while Mahito could only increase his durability so much. He remembers what Kenjaku said to him before, about how chance increased the power of the curse technique, as it is technically a binding vow to increase the power of the curse technique through chance. Right as Yuji slams his fist into Mahito's defense, Mahito transfigures his body once again, this time creating a mouth right in his stomach. As Mahito holds Yuji's punch off, the mouth starts to chant.
Body, soul, enhancement.
Mahito pushes back Yuji's punch, surprising Yuji. Mahito swings, creating a shockwave that sends Yuji flying a bit far. As Yuji lands, Mahito is onto him, landing a punch that breaks Yuji's arms and sending him flying. Yuji uses RCT in the air, landing on the ground once again, healed. He is confused as to how Mahito grows so powerful in a short amount of time. While inside him, Sukuna laughs in amusement. Voluntarily or involuntarily, Mahito transfigured himself into a Sukuna replica with 4 arms, 4 eyes, and 2 mouths. Mahito has unconsciously created a body that is perfect for Jujutsu. He's even more amused at Mahito than before, wanting to see just how far Mahito could push Yuji. Yuji has awakened RCT and his reversal technique all due to Mahito, and he wants to see how far Yuji would grow from here on out. Sukuna wants to see the battle between the perfect body versus the created body. This is where I'm going to leave for this episode. With Mahito achieving a replica of Sukuna's body, how will the story move forward? For that, continue watching. Till the next part. Cha-cha!